Good evening, viewers, and welcome back to the Blue Tribune, your go-to source for the most important political news and hearings happening across the nation. Tonight, we are bringing you an explosive and unforgettable moment from the latest congressional hearing, a hearing that has political analysts, journalists, and the public buzzing. The headline, Bye-bye Patel. That's right. Representative Jasmine Crockett delivered what can only be described as a brutal takedown of former Trump-era FBI Director Kash Patel, and the results were jaw-dropping.
So a couple of facts that we need to make clear for everyone is that, number one, Director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So before you were even confirmed, and I think one of my colleague from Georgia, pointed out that you were already targeting career officials so that you could direct illegal firings. Mind you, these cases that you were so upset about, which are the ones tied to Trump, the cases came through his handpicked FBI director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, you know, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists, because I specifically as a black woman definitely don't feel safe. And frankly, my colleagues have been real nice to you today, and I applaud them, but I don't have the same demeanor because I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle have faced death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues. And frankly, I don't know if this FBI or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught. I don't have any confidence in you. And if we start talking about the reasons that I lack confidence, we could start with you not just wanting to acknowledge some simple facts. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism. And I know my colleagues have tried to stress this, but I decided that I would maybe do it in a different way. Number one, I have a couple of UCs. Kim Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker.
Without objection.
Another one, Republican lawmaker says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race.
Without objection.
In addition, there was another one from another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
Without objection.
Okay, so here's the deal. How are we supposed to have confidence when you're sitting up here telling the Senate yesterday that it will take you 14 years before you can get the FBI fully staffed to do their jobs? You're also now redirecting resources so that they can go and play ICE agents on the streets. You're getting rid of your most qualified people. And even when it came down to somebody that you consider to be a friend, you were posted up having some fancy dinner to the extent that you posted not only once erroneously, you posted twice erroneously as it relates to catching somebody. And then you want to go and say, let me take a victory lap. Because honestly, if it wasn't for parents deciding that they were going to turn in their child, it seems like y'all wouldn't have got there, even though he literally confessed online. So I'm confused about what it is that the FBI is doing except for trying to put on a show for the apprentice or whatever you want to call him. The day after all of this took place, There was domestic terrorism that was taking place at HBCUs. They were targeted. Yet I didn't hear anything from the FBI about what was going on. And again, black people kept saying, how did we end up in this? Because the numbers are so very clear that white supremacy is a problem. And honestly, I've not heard anything out of you today that makes me believe that you're going to do anything about the white supremacy problem. The one that is leading to children being killed, children being shot, as well as members of their community as they're worshiping in their churches.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. If the gentleman would like to respond to any of that. Well, I'll respond. Kash Patel, as I said when I introduced him, public defender, former prosecutor, top staffer on the House Intelligence Committee, Deputy Director of National Intelligence with the National Security Council, Chief of Staff at the Department of Defense, and FBI Director. I think that's a pretty good resume for the guy who's now running the top law enforcement agency in our country. And we've seen all the stats that he's given to the committee on how much better they're doing at getting the bad guys than the previous guy was doing. With that, I recognize the gentleman from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I think you're witnessing some auditions, clickbait auditions for the Academy Award for my Democratic colleagues. We'll see how they fare as they're on MSNBC later on today. But do you care, before I launch into my line of questioning, to respond to Ms. Crockett from Texas on that very elaborate and theatric display?
Here's what I've learned in my government service. I don't give a damn what they say about me as long as I'm succeeding in the mission. We're succeeding in the mission because the men and women of the FBI have never been empowered to do more work and to hit the streets harder than by President Trump's authorities and resources he's given us. And so all I care about is that we are capturing more child predators than ever before, taking more drugs off the streets than ever before, that we are capturing murderers at a significantly historic rate, and we're delivering this country the lowest murder rate in recorded history. That are facts that you cannot dispute.
From the very beginning, it was clear that Crockett was on a mission. With meticulous preparation and a laser-focused approach, she exposed glaring inconsistencies in Patel's statements, forcing him to confront difficult questions about his actions while serving in the FBI. Patel, who had long maintained a carefully constructed narrative, found himself flustered and struggling to provide clear, coherent answers. Each question Crockett asked seemed to shine a light on a new gap in his explanations, leaving him increasingly on the defensive. Let's break it down. Crockett's strategy was methodical. She presented irrefutable evidence, referenced key documents, and asked pointed, precise questions designed to get straight to the truth. Time and again, Patel attempted to dodge or deflect, but Crockett would not allow it. And that, viewers, is the brilliance of this moment. This wasn't just political theater. It was oversight at its finest, demonstrating exactly how elected officials are meant to hold those in power accountable. What made this hearing especially powerful was the clarity and confidence with which Crockett delivered her questions. Her tone was firm, her arguments sharp, and her knowledge of the facts impeccable. Meanwhile, Patel's inability to answer effectively only amplified the impact of her questioning. Each evasive response from Patel became another opportunity for Crockett to highlight the need for transparency and accountability in public office. The contrast was stark, and the audience, both in the hearing room and watching online, could see it clearly. The social media reaction was immediate and intense. Clips of Crockett questioning Patel have already gone viral, with viewers praising her courage, clarity, and determination. The hashtag Bye Patel began trending almost immediately, signaling that this hearing struck a chord with the public. Political commentators have been calling this moment a turning point, noting that Crockett's approach may set a new standard for congressional hearings going forward. It's important to understand the broader implications here. Patel's role during the Trump administration included involvement in several controversial FBI operations and decisions. By holding him accountable, Crockett has not only exposed gaps in his testimony, but has also sent a message to all public officials: accountability is non-negotiable. This is a powerful reminder that oversight is not merely procedural, it is essential to maintaining public trust in our institutions. Throughout the hearing, Crockett maintained a calm but assertive demeanor, ensuring that each point landed with maximum impact. She connected the dots in a way that was easy for the public to understand, highlighting why Patel's actions, or in many cases, inactions, matter to everyday Americans. It's this clarity and precision that makes her questioning so effective, and why so many are calling this a career-defining moment for Representative Crockett. But the story doesn't end in the hearing room. Analysts predict that this confrontation will have long-term ramifications for Patel and the former Trump administration. Questions are now being raised about potential further investigations and congressional scrutiny. Meanwhile, viewers across the country are engaging in vigorous discussions about what they've seen, debating the consequences, and sharing their reactions on every major social media platform. Here at the Blue Tribune, we want you to join the conversation. What do you think about Crockett's performance? Do you believe Patel's testimony was credible? How significant is this hearing for the future of DOJ oversight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video with your friends. Like the video if you support accountability. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for continuous coverage of the most important political hearings and stories. In conclusion, the Bye-Bye Patel moment will be remembered as a defining instance of congressional oversight, demonstrating the power of preparation, courage, and a commitment to truth. Crockett's takedown was precise, effective, and historic. It's a reminder that public servants are accountable, that evidence matters, and that leaders who try to evade the truth will ultimately face scrutiny. Stay tuned to the Blue Tribune, where we will continue to bring you the latest developments, analyze the political impact, and provide in-depth coverage of moments like this. Accountability matters. The public deserves the truth, and leaders like Jasmine Crockett are showing exactly what it means to stand up for justice.